You are looking at the camper that gets more head turns and more looks than any other camper in Canada. I stand by that statement because everywhere I go in this thing, people stare. They want to know, what did they just see? And what they saw was an awesome little truck camper on top of a trailer. It's my system for the summer. I bought this thing off of a guy who was selling it for $750. He let it go for $550. And a big reason I think he let it go for $550 is because there's no jacks. And normally right here, what you would have would be some jacks hooked up. You could just crank it right here and it would lift it all the way up, and then you could back in and slide it into the box of your truck. And I probably would do it with this truck and this camper if I did have the jack system, but it doesn't have one. So I'm doing this. I'm strapping it down, simply just using straps. There's some, as you can see, some hooks there. That one's a little off, but it's doing a good job. And just strapping it down to the trailer. And it is doing a really good job. This thing, it just sticks to the trailer like glue. I've driven over 1,000 kilometers with it now. Just like this, I've left it on the trailer for the last month. I got it about a month ago. And man, it rides nice. And everywhere I go, people are just like looking at me. They're wondering, what did I just see? And they saw awesomeness. I would say 3 or 4 people the first weekend I was out stopped me at gas stations just asking me, what am I looking at? And I said, this is like the latest in camper technology. A lot of people like the idea. Actually, I had one guy come up to me at a campsite and say that he wants to do this. So, I mean, I don't want to consider myself a trendsetter, but, you know, I think I am. I've got a nice yellow strap here to go with all of my beautiful orange straps. It just rides so nice. I have a lot of confidence in it, and you can see I've got a ramp here, and it makes for a nice little walkway up into the camper, which is super small inside. That's where we're going to go right now. Well, this is it. This is a little camper. It's not much, but for me, it's perfect. The camera right now is set up on like the bed, the top bed, the top bunk, which is like the smallest little bed that you have ever seen. My daughters have slept up there, one at a time, of course, and they enjoy it. And I've slept down low, down here. This table turns into a bed. And the problem with the bed is that my head and my feet just touch. So I need to make some modifications. In fact, I'm hoping that this camper is going to be like a project camper, and I'll record, you know, some of that stuff for you guys and for me, and I plan on maybe doing a paint job on the outside. These are all dreams, of course. Who knows, maybe none of it will ever happen, but that's what I want to do. So I have to modify it so I can like lie down and get a proper night's sleep. I can sleep up top on the top bunk, but it's super cramped, and like the actual like sleeping area, I'd say it's maybe like 2 feet wide, so your shoulder is like cranked up, and it's really weird getting in and out of it. But it's just a cool little camper, and I was just so happy when the guy said he'd give it to me for $550. 4 of us picked this thing up and we put it on this trailer. So it's not very heavy. And my plan is just to kind of crank it up a little bit, pull the trailer out from underneath, and use my trailer to gather wood and whatever else throughout the winter, and just have the camper, you know, resting on some pallets throughout the winter. Next summer comes around, put it right back up on the trailer again. Off we go. Okay, what am I going to do today? I'm going to have a cup of coffee. I'm going to have a steak. Just going to hang out here, show you some of the cool things, you know, in this camper. And then I'm going to go home. So this Coleman stove is hooked up to propane on the outside of the camper. It's actually like in a little compartment, and you access it on the outside of the camper. And there's 2 propane tanks out there, and one connects to this Coleman stove, and the other connects to the furnace that isn't really working right now. And there's a good reason for that. You can see here, it's everything looks great, and I was told that it works, and I believe that it does work. The only issue is that you need a power source to connect to it in order to run the fan. And what they have here, what they had set up, was a really sketchy source of power from just like a car battery. And it looks like they're using speaker wires to connect everything to the car battery. And so right now, I can use the speaker wires that are hooked up to the car, that aren't hooked up, that I can hook up to the battery to connect to the lights. And but I'm just like terrified I'm gonna burn the place down, because it is like really, I don't think it's safe. I need some proper wiring done to this thing, if I'm ever gonna do it. I don't know. I mean, it probably costs more to wire it than it costs to actually buy this little truck camper. Look at that steak. Oh man. Gonna have some AAA beef. Look at all that fat. I love that. That's the best part right there. Just melts in your mouth. It's a ribeye. Oh, that's a lot of butter. So I'm about to eat this delicious steak, and that's going to wrap up the video. I want to know, do you guys want to see some videos of this awesome lowrider truck camper? Let me know in the comments, because it's a bit of fun for me. I get out and I get to make some summer videos. And truth be told, I got this camper for videos. And when I saw it, I thought to myself, yes, this is what I can do this summer. This is how I can keep the videos going. I'm not much of a nylon tent guy. I do have nylon tents and I do enjoy them, but I don't get out in them very much, so I'm not making very many videos. But I do plan on making quite a few videos with this, and let me know, do you want to see them? And also give me some tips. What would you do to make this thing even cooler than it already is? I kind of like the 90s vibe, and that's what I think I'm going to go with in terms of maybe a paint job on the outside. We'll see. I might just enjoy it as it is for the rest of the summer and make videos along the way for you. So, before I go, I'm going to cut into the steak so you guys can see what a medium rare steak is supposed to look like. And it is supposed to look just like that.